When good sleep seems impossible, Mattress Firm's Rest Assured Promise checks all the sleep boxes. The option to shop online, in-store, or by phone with a sleep expert? Check. Special financing? Check. Free shipping to your door? Check. A king-size mattress for the price of a queen, plus a free adjustable base with a qualified purchase of just $6.99? Check. Find your mattress at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. Visit mattressfirm.com for complete details.
Hi, Parrot Heads. This is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' in the Tiki Bar every Tuesday night from 6 to 7. 1 full hour of nothing but Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by attorney Bob Lauder and by the Carew Investment Group.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
Health officials on Block Island say a seasonal worker has tested positive for coronavirus. The Block Island Medical Center says the positive test came in Sunday night. The worker has been isolated and contact tracing efforts are underway. As of Friday, the number of positive cases reported by Rhode Island Department of Health in New Shoreham was 0.
Less than half of Harvard University's undergraduates are returning to the Cambridge campus for the fall semester. The students who are allowed to reside on campus will be living in single-person dorms. Most of the other Harvard buildings will be closed. All classes will be taught remotely, and the situation will be reassessed for the spring semester in January.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
Hello, this is Manny Brando.
And this is Virginia. Together, we bring you the Manny Brando Show every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
Excuse me, can I say a few words?
Forget it. You already said too much.
Oh, no, not again.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide. You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. Coffee Ann has arrived here on ON, AM, and FM. It's Wednesday morning. It's July 8th. And my name is Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us this morning. Tim Draper is at the Coffee Ann table with me. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Joe.
From
Good morning, Natalie.
Credit Union.
Good
Natalie
morning on
Mack
the phone
is
in
here.
Ethos.
Hello, Natalie.
Good morning, gentlemen.
And John Ward's on the phone. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, all.
From the Commonwealth?
Commonwealth?
No, Virginia.
Oh, no.
Aren't they a
I'm still here
Commonwealth?
in Rhode Island.
Oh, you're in Rhode Island. Okay. Are you quarantining yourself?
I am.
Because you went to Virginia?
No, because I want to go to Virginia because my son and daughter-in-law just welcomed their new baby girl yesterday. And in order for me to visit, I have to be separated from those who may otherwise cause me to bring risk.
You can't hear? I'm sorry. You're a little low, John.
I'm a little low?
Yeah, speak up a little bit, please. Tim and Natalie were having trouble hearing you.
Oh.
Which was shocking, actually, that we couldn't hear you.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, there you go.
That's better.
There
Okay.
we go.
He was just saying how he's quarantining himself so he can go visit his new granddaughter.
That's right.
So, so does that mean you don't go into Lincoln Town Hall?
No, I go to work because I'm working in an office all by myself. And
Okay.
People who come in have to take precautions and things of that nature.
Okay.
But, it's pretty much limited to that. I'm in a house where we're now having groceries delivered to the house rather than going into the stores. Things
Gotcha.
like that.
Okay. Well, I hope it works out for you. You're not too bored.
I hope so, too.
All right, our first segment sponsor of the Coffee Ann program is the St. Antoine Communities. So now that we've got the John Ward health situation out of the way, we'll switch over to the St. Antoine Communities. So, Natalie, first message, please, from the St. Antoine Communities.
Great, good morning. St. Antoine Community is located in North Smithfield at the corner of 400 Mendon Road and 10 Rhodes Avenue. On campus, we have 2 buildings with 4 levels of care: assisted living, rehabilitative services, secured memory care, and long-term skilled nursing support. The first building on campus is the Villa at St. Antoine, located at 400 Mendon Road. It's our 76 apartment assisted living facility. The Villa offers traditional assisted living apartments in 3 styles: studio, 1 bedroom, and 2 bedroom, as well as an 8 resident memory care unit. The second building is St. Antoine Residence, located at 10 Rhodes Avenue, and it is our 260-bed skilled long-term and short-term rehabilitative facility. Inside, we showcase our state-of-the-art Easy Street Rehab Center, our secured memory care unit, and our private hospice suite. St. Antoine Community feels like home and is welcoming to all. So if you have never been to visit us, I encourage you to take a ride up north and tour our beautiful campus. It's lovely this time of year. You can call 767-3500, ask for Melissa Smith, the Community Marketing Director, and she would be happy to show you around.
Are they extra excited at the St. Antoine Communities today because today's the day that people can come to you to visit loved ones?
Absolutely. A lot of work has been going on to get it all up and running, and I think we're really happy to be able to reunite residents and their families. So I think it's great news.
Do you know what the process is? Is there a real big... Or do you want to talk about that in your next message, and I won't
steal your thunder.
Do whatever you want to do.
I have many messages today. So they're basically they're doing sort of a reservation system. So you can go. It's one visitor per resident. Basically, there's restricted visitation hours. So there are specific windows, and then they've basically assigned each unit has a day for visitors.
Okay.
So basically, you can pretty much call the receptionist between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. and schedule an appointment. They can give you the information and sign you up for your slot to go visit.
Is it an in-person, or still is it you're up to a window and your resident is on the other side and...
I believe it's in person.
Okay.
I didn't get all the specific
Cool.
details, but I think they'll actually come to the facility.
Nice.
Will the people that are coming to the facility, will they be temperature checked and like that?
I'm sure they'll go through all the basic screening
protocols.
process. Yeah.
Well, that's great that and I'm sure the residents are excited that they get to see some of their loved ones that's been 3 months.
It's going to be
Better
so
than Christmas.
heartwarming to see so many people reunited.
That's
So
that's
it's very
fantastic.
good.
So I hope it goes very well for you today.
Yeah.
I hope so,
and
too.
have no
Issues.
subsequent issues down the road, right?
That's
always
right.
2 weeks from now is when you'll find out, as they say.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hopefully everybody will be safe and continue to be healthy.
Sure.
Yeah,
All
awesome.
right. So, John,
Joe,
what's the latest rumor? Is there a possibility that there won't be a primary for city council in here in Woonsocket?
there's always scuttlebutt out there.
Right.
And this year's scuttlebutt, because of the challenge of getting signatures, I just have a suspicion that though 15 people signed up expressing interest in running for city council, I have doubts that all 15 will turn in 100 signatures by Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Just a hunch.
Is it this? Is it this afternoon?
No, Friday afternoon.
Friday the 10th. Okay.
Right.
All right.
But it's been a challenge. There's been some social media postings expressing concern over the need for more signatures, and this being Wednesday, it's a little late in the game because last weekend was actually the weekend to do it. If you had a job where you couldn't go out during the day, so I'm just getting a sense that it may not. We may not see 15 names. We may not have a primary.
Okay.
Nobody said anything specific, but
Right. It's just a feeling you get, John, or a hunch?
the noise around town and
The word on the
social
street
media,
is okay.
so to speak. Yeah.
Now, did
By the way, Joe,
yeah.
Joe, I got to move quickly to national politics or something. I have to withdraw my speculative guess at the vice presidential pick because current events being what they are, I have to change from the governor of Michigan.
Yes, you were very strong on her for a long time.
Yes, but I think that's fallen out of favor in light of recent events.
Okay.
And I would have to say that now I have to put 3 names on the table as the highest possibilities.
Okay.
I think that the 3 are first Tammy Duckworth, the senator from Illinois, who's a Thai American.
I haven't heard of her. Okay.
Well, you will.
Okay.
She lost 2 legs in Iraq. She was a helicopter pilot, and apparently the front end of her helicopter got blown off, as well as her legs, and she now serves as a senator from Illinois.
Tammy Buckworth, is that what you said?
Tammy Duckworth.
Like the animal?
Like the animal.
Oh, okay, Duckworth. Got it.
Duckworth.
Next.
And then there's the Obama administration folks, one being Susan Rice, who was UN ambassador and national security advisor.
All right.
And the third description I put on her was chief Benghazi liar. And then there's Valerie Jarrett. You remember, she was also a senior advisor to Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So those three contenders, I think, are probably moved right up the ranks.
None of those names
past all of the others.
What about
the only one with serious negatives is Susan Rice, because of her less than illustrious work on the Benghazi public relations matter, and then the fact that she was outing so many people at the end of the Obama administration and wrote that memo to herself, sort of as a CYA memo about presidents insisting that the investigation into Trump be done by the book. And she used the term by the book like 3 or 4 times in the memo. Kind of goofy.
Well, John, you throw out these three names, but what about Kamala Harris?
No. She got way too many negatives. She couldn't even run through the entire series of primaries before everything hit the fan. She had to drop out. People weren't giving her money. She's been criticized for her work as the Attorney General in California for doing things to people that they're now, on the Democrat side, complaining about the criminal justice system being unfair. She was doing some of those things. She got way too many.
I don't hear that stuff.
She'll get some sort of cabinet position, though.
Okay. And what about Liz Warren from Massachusetts?
Ugh.
You don't have to say anything more than that.
I know, but she's high up in the
right,
Democrats.
Right, yeah. Well, again, these are things that they'll be spoken with if Biden should happen to win, and they will be spoken with for senior positions in the new government.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether it be like Kamala Harris, maybe for Attorney General.
Liz Warren
God
will be
help
like
us. Then
Department of Commerce or something.
I don't know. I can't even imagine what Liz Warren is qualified for.
She'll want commerce.
You think so? Okay.
Probably.
Natalie,
she's got to level the playing field.
Who's Joe Biden going to pick, Natalie? Now you don't have to pick these three.
Yeah,
Just, pick somebody. You can always pick somebody else.
We put those our friends on the spot like this.
Hard hitting.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, Minnie Mouse. That's who I'm writing in.
Well, she's wouldn't be bad. I mean, she doesn't say anything and smiles a lot and waves.
True.
So
True.
It's not a bad idea. All right. So, John, back to the state level. What do I want to ask John? That's right. Front page in the call today. Lincoln Town Council adopts a 2021 budget. You okay with what they adopted? Since you're the one that's going to pay out the money.
Since he wrote it?
Yeah.
Since you wrote it? Yeah, since you wrote it.
Yeah. I am, and I'm satisfied with the procedure. We do estimate state aid numbers because we don't know what those are going to be, but to a certain extent, we always estimate them because Lincoln approves their budget at the financial town meeting in early May every year, and the state issues their budget in June every year. So every year, the budget in Lincoln is speculative about what the state aid is going to be. I'm comfortable with the fact that whatever comes out of the State House, we will be able to adapt our budget to match it up with what's available to us and figure out how to balance our books by the end of the year.
Okay.
How we do business.
Now, it also has in there, Lincoln wants to do major renovations to Manville Memorial Park.
Yes, there's a move afoot to take baseball field, I guess, and turn it into something more like soccer area.
See, you can't do that.
And why?
You know why? Tim might know why.
No.
Tim and I used to play baseball together at Little League.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Long time ago, but I can't remember why.
It's where I hit my first home run.
Oh, that's...
I planked it right off the tree down the left field line.
Can we just put a plaque on the tree or something?
Can we keep the tree?
We'll keep the tree.
I will make sure that they know that so that they put the plaque up.
That would be great.
The local celebrity Joe Callahan.
That would be. I can probably point to where I didn't hit too many, so I know.
You know the one.
I know where it hit on the tree.
Hey, John, I have a question. Although you're not DOT, any idea what's up with the bridge? Is that going to be out for a long period of time?
Which bridge?
The
The
Manville
one
Bridge.
between Manville and Cumberland?
Yeah.
It's going to be like the illustrious job they do on bridges in this state,
Looks
like
to be
every
one
bridge, it's going to take 2 years.
Will my kids
will
enjoy
be-
the bridge?
It will, well, if they live till the end of 2021.
All right, fair enough. That actually affects a lot of businesses in Manville because it's amazing how many people from
Yes.
Manville go to Cumberland Hill and Cumberland Hill to Manville.
And it's amazing how long it takes the state of Rhode Island to repair bridges.
I know. Considering they did one on 95, they built it off-site and then trucked it into place in a weekend and had the whole thing
Yeah.
paved and back in service.
That's the way they do
We
it.
can't do that on
Absolutely.
any other bridges, just the 95
And-
bridge.
And yes, and yet on School Street in North Smithfield, they got the wrong steel in, and it took them 2 years to do that bridge.
Yeah, that's
You
the one
remember-
they.
you remember that, Natalie, don't
you? The new
Oh,
bridge,
definitely.
the new bridge on 146 that's crossing 116. They've been working on that for 9 months now, and they've probably got another year to go because it's like, all right, we did our 2 shovelfuls today. Let's go home.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
come
cool.
back tomorrow.
Time to take a break. It's too hot. Now, do you come up 295 or 95 when you come up?
I've done it both ways
Both
to come
ways?
up to this area.
Because 295 has a lot of construction on it at the
does.
moment.
Yeah.
But they seem
Yeah.
to be managing that pretty well because they built those temporary bridges and they just kind of shift you around.
Shift around.
I
Yeah.
haven't had too much of a problem.
Yeah.
We can take a break in the Coffee and program right now, so more is coming away, but we need to get a second message from the St. Antoine community, so it's back to Natalie.
Oh, it's me again.
Yes.
So as I mentioned a few weeks ago when I was on here, we're holding our annual golf tournament on August 17th at Kirkbrae Country Club. That's just 5.5 weeks away. It will be a great opportunity to get out of the house, play golf, and connect with other community leaders and St. Antoine supporters. The day will include boxed lunch, door prizes, gifts, seated dinner with cocktails, and team prizes. And although this important fundraiser is impacted by COVID-19 this year, it's still the most effective way to raise awareness and funds for the critical services we provide to more than 600 elderly and adults in need of skilled nursing, rehabilitative treatments, hospice care, or assisted living services every year. Becoming a sponsor is a great way to highlight your company and its important investment in the St. Antoine community. There are many ways to participate: sponsor a foursome, reduce costs this year for only $1,000, sponsor a portion of the event, a tea sign, or give a general donation. To learn more, please contact me at 206-353-7543 or nmac@stantoine.net.
Thanks, Natalie. And the Coffee and program is going to continue. If you have any comments or questions, call them in 766-1240 or email them in to coffee@wonsocketradio.com.
When you walk into George's restaurant, you see 2 separate billboards with daily specials, and that's because they feature so much variety every day. How about a barbecue cheddar burger with sautéed onions and hand-cut fries, or a tuna bacon tomato mozzarella wrap with fries? On the other board, you'll see several breakfast specials, including George's Sausage Deluxe Omelet with hot Italian sausage, peppers, tomatoes, and mushrooms, or a peanut butter chip pancake. It's a treat every time. George's, 793 Harris Avenue, Woonsocket. Takeouts welcome.
Call George's Restaurant at 769-1036 for takeout.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's most important to you as a business owner?
The most important thing to me as a business owner is to be there for my customers in the moment of truth. It's not just writing the policy and you're done. It's about being there for my customers when there's an accident, a fire, or even a death. Helping them get through tough moments in life. That's my job as an agent.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
We're local and live at 99.5.
Coffee and on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan here with Natalie Mack and Tim Draper. John Ward is on the telephone. And, John, there's another story, and we want to see if Lincoln is part of this. All right? Now I got to find it. Okay, some Rhode Island... John, you still there?
I am.
Okay. The story is some Rhode Island cities are announcing delays in sending out motor vehicle tax bills. The city of Warwick is one of them. And the city of Pawtucket is another. Where does the town of Lincoln stand on sending out their car tax bills?
And why?
Well, we actually placed
Why are they
an ad
delaying
in
it?
this week's- we placed an ad in this week's Valley Breeze. We did send out both the real estate tax bills and the tangible property, but we are delaying the motor vehicle until after the state finishes their budget, hopefully in August.
Same
and
reason as
for
Warwick.
motor vehicle tax bills, only because we don't know what the phase out of the motor vehicle excise tax program will look like. So we have to wait until we do that. Otherwise, if we send out a bill and they change the rules, we have to modify or send credits. And it creates a lot of work.
So basically...
So the motor vehicle bills will probably go out in September, and we will adjust the quarterly payment due dates accordingly.
So basically, you agree with the city of Warwick that's basically saying we want the bills cannot be properly calculated at this time because of the budget.
That's right.
Yeah.
They can be calculated. We could do them, but if they change the rules in August when they do the budget, then we would have to do a lot of work to fix it. Don't want to do that.
Okay. You're being proactive, right? Instead of reactive?
Cumberland, I got my car taxes from Cumberland came in.
Well, they don't care about you over there.
Apparently, obviously not.
Well,
Jeff Motor doesn't
Cumberland,
care.
Cumberland, keep in mind, does their taxes on a different schedule, so that they send you a projected tax, and then the fourth quarter they adjust for the actual final spending program. So they always make an adjustment in the fourth quarter, and I guess they would end up doing the same thing. So there's no risk in how because of the way they do it.
We have a weird tax cycle, I think, in Cumberland. It's
yes, they send you an estimate, and because they don't finalize it, most communities did this in the past, and most communities went through what they call a tax synchronization program, where they lined up the taxes with the fiscal year and changed the billing, but Cumberland never did that.
So they send you an estimate first, and this is what you're going to have to owe?
So like so many communities, they actually do estimated taxes, and they borrow money. They issue tax anticipation notes, like the state's talking about doing this year. Yeah. They've been just mentioned for talking about tax anticipation notes because they won't have a budget in time to issue or collect enough money to do their job. So they're going to borrow money to do it, and we'll see how it goes after that.
You still get a fire tax in Cumberland?
Of course we have a fire tax in Cumberland. Why would we not?
It's going to be the only town that does that.
Well, they merged the fire departments a few years ago, which was a complete nightmare. And then, John laughs at that. And then, now I think that was the first step was to take the 4 fire departments and merge them together and create their own it's not a municipal fire department. It's a it's a town fire department.
Okay.
The next, in my mind anyway, this is the way I would feel, the next phase is to make it a municipal fire department. But I don't, because they've accumulated so much debt and they screwed up the merger in the first place, and they gave away the farm to everybody, I feel like the town doesn't want them right now because they've got lots of debt and they've got lots of chaos going on. So they're trying to smooth that out. There's a group in there now that's trying to get stable. And then I would hope that they would consider making it a municipal fire district and then just having one taxing authority, make it part of the town government, make it public safety. It's a public safety thing.
Yeah.
Police, fire, rescue. EMA.
Yeah.
Public safety. That's what it is. We have police and rescue under the town, and then we have the fire department under its own taxing authority.
And then
you get the school department, who has no taxing authority, but certainly has a significant part of the tax burden. Just for crying out loud. Just we got to figure. It's got to be a better way to do it.
Do you know how much debt they're actually in?
No, I don't. I don't. I forget what they said. I think they were like $400,000 or $500,000 out of budget, out of whack, and they needed to bring that back into compliance. And I think there's a couple. They couldn't go over the 4.5% cap. I think that they can. There's a maximum tax burden they can give every year, or adjustment they can give every year. So they couldn't exceed that. So they had to do something. The firefighters were great. My understanding is they actually did come to the table and work with the fire district to try and straighten it out a little bit. So that was great. I mean, the hard part in Cumberland was that you had the 4 different fire departments all had different pay scales, and they all had different benefits packages, and one was giving away health care for life,
and one wasn't.
One wasn't.
Wow.
So when they merged them, the one that wasn't wanted the health care for life.
Well, sure.
I don't think they did that. I think they did some sort of a compromise. Same thing with pay scales. One department pay was much higher hourly than another, based on their district and based on where they were. But instead of slowly bringing everybody into equilibrium, we just did it all in 1 year. So it's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
For everybody?
Which totally, if we were supposed to save some money at the beginning of the process and then recognize efficiencies over time, they just decided to do it all in 1 year, which there were no efficiencies at that point. It actually cost us more to do that process. And experts all said that you could get, I think they said you could get somewhere around 10% savings if you merged the 6 to 10, I think the number was, put everybody together. You could do it under a $7 million budget, Instead, we ended up with like a $7.5 million budget after they merged them all together. So it was just... Anybody that's got fire districts out there that wants to merge them together, look at Cumberland as a cautionary tale.
Of how not to do it.
How really... what to be careful for, right? What are the pitfalls? The pitfalls are politics gets in the way, and friendships and buddies get in the way, and one thing leads to another. And one of the guys that was involved in it doesn't even live in Rhode Island anymore. He lives in Florida. So great. Here, I just threw this burden on you, and now I'm going to run out of Dodge.
Yeah,
pisses me off. Ooh, sorry.
Now, why don't the firefighters stand at the new rotaries at 295 and fill the boot?
Well, I would be my challenge because you're still moving in the rotary. I mean, at least the light
slow
stop.
down. They slow down, though.
We do. I will say, I will be the first to admit, I was incorrect in my assessment of whether the rotaries would work or not. They're working pretty well. I like them. I think it's a good idea.
You've gone through them okay, and
there's
no issues.
A little bit of an adjustment in. They got to finish some striping.
Yeah.
But I think by and large, I haven't hit a traffic jam coming off of 295. Of course, COVID-19 is preventing many of us from working, so maybe we don't have full traffic capacity yet, but traffic is building back up. I see it on Diamond Hill Road now.
Now, people would go into Navigant Credit Union here at Park Square whenever they tore up the street over here.
Yeah.
Were they going into the Navigant branch in Cumberland complaining about when they were building the rotaries in Cumberland?
No, actually, I think there was this Facebook pages and all kinds of forums that people could go and air their complaints about the rotaries. But I think by and large, most people aren't really complaining about it because I think they see the one thing is still Chapel Four Corners is still a little bit of a we've got to figure out.
Well, not a
they
mess,
they took away a light. It used to be a staggered light for all the turns, so it was 6 changes of the light. Now they're down, I think, to 5.
Okay.
And the Angel Road, Bear Hill Road, this is local, so anybody that doesn't know this is not going to get it. But Angel Road and Bear Hill Road, which are basically opposing streets, were offset. So they've tried to bring them more into alignment. But people aren't used to people on Bear Hill Road being able to turn south on Diamond Hill Road, while people at the same time are able to come off of Angel Road and turn north. So at that intersection, there's a lot of like, okay, who goes? Who has the right of way? We don't have lines in the street yet. So there's a little bit of a
confusion.
My mother-in-law almost doesn't want to go on that intersection. Don't worry, Mom.
Someone
Just
else
go slow.
All right. John, we got a message that's been written in, coffee@wonsocketradio.com, talking about the bridge in Manville. A relative of mine lives right up the hill. It is incredibly inconvenient for her to get to areas surrounding Manville. And did I not hear John Ward say as far as the approximate length of time for restoration? Or did not hear what John Ward said as far as approximate length of time?
It'll be well into 2021 before it'll be done.
So
it's awful.
18 months at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at least.
Are they replacing the bridge, or are they just fixing it?
Got me.
Yeah.
Make that decision at a later time.
I don't know. I believe it's the state doing the job, and I honestly have no idea the extent of what it is they're doing. But
look at this.
It doesn't look like they're replacing it because they keep tearing up pieces of it. So I would think if they were replacing it, they would
just knock it down,
simply remove it.
We got the story yesterday that the Gano Street exit off of 195 has been completed.
Oh, and they're going to keep it open?
It's now open. But didn't that go on for 18 months?
It did. They weren't sure they were going to reopen it though. They were literally going to take it down, and then the businesses at the end of Gano Street
went crazy,
livid.
Yeah. Well, they changed that around and
they fixed it.
So now it's open and now it's completed. But they didn't replace the India Point Bridge, did they? No. Okay.
Nope.
But it got completed. But it's all these things always take 2 years.
For 5 years from now, when all the roads are done, and then we're not maintaining them.
So let's keep in mind that for those of you who have traveled to Theodore Francis Green Airport down in Warwick, I think it's been 5 years now that as you approach the airport, you end up getting moved from lane to lane by barrels because of bridge work going on there.
Yeah, right around Post Road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an indication about how fast they do bridge work.
Well,
I think it's simply that they take crews that do certain tasks, and they go from one bridge to another bridge to another bridge doing the same task, and they don't have another crew coming in behind them to do whatever's next. It's ludicrous, and I'm sure Peter Alviti will tell you all of the perfect reasons why this is absolutely the best way to do it.
Well, since we're on the DOT, is it my imagination, or do there seem to be toll gantries like everywhere? And they keep building them on 295.
I keep watching them build them.
I keep watching them build these things. I'm like, how many of them? I thought they were only putting 14 up.
At a time, maybe. No, I thought you were right. I think you were right, but I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know.
They do seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, they seem to be everywhere.
But how come are they building them all in the state in Cumberland and then trucking them to where they have to go?
I think so. Those two way stations, the old way stations off 295.
They're both building them.
Yeah.
Easy to build
that
there.
Could be just that's just I think a staging area where they can set up, bring the stuff, drop it there, and have it ready to go when it's time to install.
When it comes to the bridge work, it just reminds me, New York Public Library. There's someone that goes around and dusts the books.
Yeah.
But the building's so big, by the time they get from the top floor all the way to the bottom floor, it's time to go to the top floor again. So it's the same thing with the bridges.
Yeah.
We've completed them all.
Yeah.
Let's start again.
I know.
And see what needs to be replaced.
The painters on the George Washington Bridge work their whole career just painting the same bridge.
Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee Am program right now, and it's time for a look at the forecast being brought to you by Gas Buddy. Fuel better. Today, cloudy skies. High temperature will be near 84. There is a slight chance of some showers this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Chance of showers and thunderstorms before 10 p.m. It'll be a low temperature around 70. It's going to be more humid this afternoon as well. Tomorrow, it'll be a partly sunny day with a high near 89. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low of 68. Friday, mostly cloudy, high near 82. And Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high near 82. And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have cloudy skies and 75 degrees. Hate paying too much for gas? Then you need Gas Buddy. Gas Buddy saves you money no matter where you fill up. Download the app or visit gasbuddy.com. Gas Buddy. Fuel better.
Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. If you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor, or work with an advisor based in Boston, New York, or who knows where. Someone you'll probably never meet. We encourage our clients to come to our office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free, no-obligation consultation to find out how we invest your money, call us, Paul or myself, at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Call 877-DRIVE-ED.
Who's Ed? That's the number for Levante's Auto School.
You can't wait to get your license. You want to get behind the wheel and drive. Let's roll. You want to be in control, but you gotta learn how to survive. Levante's Auto School shows you how to learn the rules and keep your cool.
Levante's Auto School knows how important it is to be a good driver, so they stress the importance of having a positive attitude behind the wheel. Levante's also makes it extra convenient for busy teenagers by scheduling classes at night, on weekends, during school vacations, and easy makeup schedule. 4-star rated and staffed with patient, experienced instructors. Levante's Auto School, 1-877-DRIVE-ED, accepting Rhode Island and Massachusetts students.
Call 877-DRIVE-ED. Who's Ed?
That's Levante's Auto School.
And now, Levante's Auto School is certified by both Rhode Island and Massachusetts to teach the driver's training course over the Internet. No need to wait. Call now.
Hello, this is Manny Brando.
And this is Virginia. And Manny, now you have to start getting up a half hour earlier because our show is going to begin at 8:30 until 9:30.
I can't get up that early. 8:30 to 9:30. Oh,
That
no.
is correct. That is our new time slot.
I'm confused.
What else is new?
Oh, boy.
Coffee in on ON, AM, and FM. Joe Callahan here with Natalie Mack and John Ward's on the phone. Tim Draper is here. And Tim, time for your first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. Just a quick sort of announcement for our commercial borrowers. If you were involved in the Paycheck Protection Program loans through Navigant Credit Union, we're happy to tell you that next week, we think, we should have our forgiveness process in place. It looks like the SBA has come up with their rules that hopefully they won't change between now and Monday of next week. But if you did get a loan from us, look for an email, which will give you some directions and then what forms you need to complete that online application. It's actually, the process is we're trying to make it as simple as possible. And quite honestly, we're pretty sure the SBA doesn't want any of the money back, so they're trying to make it as easy for you to keep and get forgiven as they can.
So there's more forms to fill out?
There's a forgiveness form once you get the loan. And basically what it is, it's verifying that you use the money for your payroll and for utilities and those types of things. So you have to have some copies of those documents handy when you fill the form out. But if you got the loan through us, it should be as simple as signing in with your company name and the EIN number that you used, and then the form's half populated for you because it's coming out of our system. So half the work is done. It's just uploading the documents that you need to upload. And then my understanding, the process will be, we'll get the notification that the application is complete. We'll review it. We have a few weeks to do it, but we're going to try and do them fast. Click, submit it to the SBA. The SBA has up to 90 days to actually say this loan is forgiven.
Wow.
So there could be a period of time where people aren't really sure, but not to panic. Once we've given you the notification that we've pushed it off to the SBA, you'll get notification. And we don't think the SBA wants to take the full 90 days either. We think they want to get it out and just, here, we're done with it, and your loan is forgiven, or this part of your loan is forgiven and this part becomes a loan for the next 5 years or 2 years or whatever the rule is at the time. So just be on the lookout for that. If you were a commercial borrower who took advantage of the Paycheck Protection Program, we'll try to make it as easy for you as we can, and that should happen sometime next week.
Do you know, Tim, if the SBA will send out an email or something saying, hey, your loan has been forgiven? Will they be notified of that?
We will notify our members individually as those loans are forgiven. We will contact those members and say, hey, your loan is forgiven, or again, it'll be probably more in an email format that says this is forgiven, this is a loan, if it turns out to be that way.
Okay.
We're hoping that the vast majority of them are, here's your forgiveness, enjoy.
All right. Very good. John.
Joe.
Okay, as a city councilor here in the city of Woonsocket. Oh, by the way, this is Mr. Ward's last appearance for a little while here on the Coffee and program since he's a candidate for city council.
Oh, that's right. He can't.
We got to offer equal time, and we don't want to do that. So.
No.
You need to have one of those sound effects that goes,
we got one of those.
Who would be worthy of equal time with
So
me?
it's me and Natalie and
me
and you
Yes.
and Melissa rotating around. This
And
is
it's
great.
all rainbow.
That's right. So we're getting John's all his last. Unless John wants to pay us to be here.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
There's
is
always
that
that.
opportunity.
But John, as a city council member here in the city of Woonsocket, has any of your constituents reached out to you because you see it going on around the country? We need to defund the police. Have you received any kind of correspondence from anybody about we should do that in Woonsocket?
The city's watch group that put on a couple of protests with Black Lives Matter
Mm-hmm.
that did their march a couple of weeks in a row from Market Square down to the police station.
Mm-hmm.
They had expressed the desire to have us defund police, and I did get into a bit of an exchange with someone on Facebook about what the meaning of defund means, and pointed out that they probably want to change it to some other term, being as you don't want to eliminate the police department. But yeah, there's been some minority groups and some vocal members of the community who wish to have that done, but not every time they're challenged on what it means. It's not a pure defunding of the police department. It's impractical. I mean, you still need to stop people from doing dangerous things. You need to stop drug dealers. You need to do investigations to catch people who commit crimes that harm other people. And unfortunately, before you can call in the counselors, you have to intercede in domestic matters where someone's got a knife in their hand or a gun in their hand. You don't counsel their way out of that at the moment that everybody's in a frenzy and throwing knives at one another.
Mm-hmm.
You send a policeman in to contain the situation first. So it's not as significant an issue maybe as it is.
So it's not gaining any real traction.
I think in the larger cities there's real discussion. I see that Providence last night, the city council or a subcommittee of it had a discussion with people from Portland, Oregon, about how they replaced their police department with a more social-friendly group that still does police work, but starts, I guess, with a different attitude in responding to calls for assistance than the normal dispatcher does, simply asking, please state the nature of your emergency, fire, medical, or police. A little more.
Or do you need a social worker?
I don't know how they do it, but I know Providence City Council had a meeting with the West Coast to discuss that last night.
I wonder if they start using, was it the United Ways 211 system? If they start to leverage some of that capabilities to try and the nuisance calls that the police end up going to that really shouldn't be police focused, that they start to push some of those calls onto the 211 system. But that's going to require whoever responds to be trained.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well,
I mean, you could go out for a noise violation, which you would argue, well, the police really don't need to go to noise violations, right? Maybe there's other things they could be doing, but you get to a noise violation and it's a big party, and all of a sudden there's people pushing back at you, and you're just a
now what do
trained.
You do?
What do you do?
Right, and that's the kind of thing where, oftentimes, too, there are many neighborhoods where the complaint is that there are not policemen that reflect our culture or our race or ethnicity, and it could very well be that all the best efforts to recruit candidates from those groups fail, or they don't do a good enough job, so maybe they need to do that. But the fact is, if there are local groups, whether through churches or social service organizations, when a police officer does report to a neighborhood for, say, a noise complaint, if there's someone they can contact to come down and act as an intermediary so that you don't end up in a confrontation that gets out of hand, somebody to work with the police officer to deal with the issue. Maybe that there are better ways, and it becomes a question of training, recognizing the issues before they become violent. But none of that takes away from the fact that sometimes a police officer walks into a situation where a guy is so strung out on drugs that he needs to be contained in order to protect himself and others, and sometimes that turns violent.
Yeah.
Now, what you don't do then is kill the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a training issue.
So are you
thinking? You have to recognize what is reasonable force and what is unreasonable force, and every officer has to have the protection of the right to say, fellow policemen, stop what you're doing. You're harming this person too severely. You're beyond what's allowed. But the poor guys out in Minnesota, you know, two of those people were under the training of the guy that had the knee on the guy's neck.
So what are they going to do?
He was a training officer. So what are they going to do? Tell their training officer
not to do?
You know, these guys were on probation, and they were telling the training officer to stop it. I don't think so.
Yeah,
they were sort of trapped.
So, John, are you thinking if someone calls 911, the 911 operator is going to ask more questions like, what ethnicity officer would you like to respond? How about what gender do you want to respond?
No, that's the problem. If it's that level of an emergency, then they don't have time to deal with that.
That's right.
Generally, it's trying to. They have to be cold and matter of fact because the people on the other end tend to be emotional, and it would be their job to try to calm them and give them advice while they're responding in a way that gets the right people there as quickly as possible if it's an emergency. It's a challenge to try to be able to kind of find some way to transition from the 911 call all the way to how the police officer responds to whatever situation they find out there.
It always amazes me that if you do call 911, they state what's your emergency. No matter what you say, fire, rescue, police are coming.
I don't know if that's true.
I've seen that in my own case.
True.
Often true. Okay.
Well, I say that because if it's a fire, there's probably going to need somebody from medical help to take care of that.
Yeah.
Police will have to control traffic. If it's a police issue, I don't know that fire and rescue necessarily follow automatically.
I've seen it around here on buildings that are near where the radio station is, and police, fire, EMA show up, and but you can tell the fire are not in a real big hurry. They don't have their gear on, and then within 5 minutes, okay, the rescue leaves, the fire truck leaves, police car stays.
Yeah.
So, and I just didn't know is that just protocol? Okay, everybody goes, and we'll make the determination when we get there whether or not you stay, which isn't a bad idea. Because you just never know.
Well, I know if a rescue calls in Cumberland, there's a fire truck that gets dispatched, a rescue, and usually the police cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more along the lines of if it's a rescue, do you need additional assistance? Like my dad, when he was alive, and he would fall, pretty big guy, so you couldn't just send the police cruiser there, but you would send the rescue and the fire truck.
Still there, John? Nope. That was his phone.
He'll call back.
He'll call back. Yeah.
And so that was, you needed that number of people to assist in getting him back on his feet. So they tend to go as a group.
There was one time I was living in Randolph, Massachusetts, and my son was probably 3 or 4, and we had an issue with the furnace, and the house was filling up with smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Called 911, and they were going to come and help air out basically the house.
Put a big fan.
Yeah. And but so not to make my son scared, way off in the distance you could hear the sirens, and I turned to him and said, hear those sirens? And he's like, yeah. He goes, they're coming here, isn't that cool? He's like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, the fire's coming, police is coming. I can't wait to see them. So
they're all going to show up.
Yep, they're all going to be here. Isn't that going to be great?
Yeah, it's great.
He thought it was cool.
Kids find things amazingly cool sometimes.
I didn't want him to worry. Oh, something was the house burning down, Dad?
Yeah.
No, they were just coming to take a look at the smoke.
Pay no attention to the smoke coming out the window, son.
This is really cool.
Those fire trucks are going to be really cool when they get here.
All right, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Thanks, Joe. Just want to remind everybody that, if you're out and about, that's great. Our branches are open, particularly the Park Square branch up here on Park Avenue. Amanda and her team are open and ready to see you and welcome you back if you haven't been in. We're going to ask you to, the typical protocol, maintain social distancing of 6 feet. We're going to ask you to limit 15 members in the branch at a time, which is not generally a problem. But the other thing that's important to know is that when you wear a mask, because we are asking everyone to wear the masks when they go in for our protection and for yours, we will ask you to lower the mask once or twice, just so that we can identify you. It could happen at the door, it could happen at the member service desks, it could happen at the teleline. Please don't be alarmed if we're asking you to lower your masks. It's just for identification purposes. When we do it in all the branches, again, it's for as much your protection as a member as it is our staff. So we would appreciate your cooperation on that. And other than that, if you don't want to come into the branch, we have all of our digital services right at the website, www.navigantcu.org. You're welcome to go and use online banking, bill pay. You can start loan applications, fill out forms, get your e-statements, whatever it is that you need, you can certainly do online too. So, we encourage you to use our digital services. And if you have any questions, you can always call our contact center, 233-4700. Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks to you, Tim. And John, you're back, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My phone literally just shut off and restarted.
All by itself.
Our conversation.
Because it's not an iPhone.
Okay. Well, hang on for John, because we got to...
No, it's a me phone.
It's a me phone. All right, more Coffee Hands coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Riverfront Patio Dining awaits you at River Falls Restaurant. Enjoy your lunch or dinner as you overlook the Blackstone River. Here are some of the wonderful items on the menu: steak and peppers pizza, baked stuffed haddock, and choice filet mignon. Make your River Falls Restaurant reservations today by calling 401-235-9026. 235-9026 or go online to riverfallscomplex.com. You'll love the Riverfront Patio Dining at River Falls Restaurant, Market Square, Woonsocket.
Woonsocket Door Sales can handle any kind of door installation, including residential and commercial, paying special attention to your door's infrastructure, such as framework repair, to ensure that your door is firmly in place. Woonsocket Door Sales is a fourth-generation family business, installing and repairing all types of doors. Please visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com to see a gallery of door styles, manufacturers, and testimonials from satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Call Amy Bebo at 767-3448.
Hi everybody, saxophonist Paula Atherton here.
And I'm Dave Koz. Joining me this weekend will be saxophonist Paula Atherton. She's got some new music to share and some great stories to tell. So I hope you'll be here for that as well. And check out davekoz.com during the week. And be here this weekend for Paula Atherton and yours truly on another edition of the Dave Koz Radio Show.
Hi there, fans of smooth jazz. The Dave Koz Radio Show can only be heard on ON AM and FM, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM every Sunday, twice on Sundays, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Dave Koz Radio Show is brought to you by the Carew Investment Group. It's the Dave Koz Radio Show every Sunday right here on
ON AM and FM.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. This is Joe Callahan here with John Ward, who's on the phone, and hopefully his me phone won't break down again. And Tim Draper is here, and Natalie Mack is here as well. So it looks like Providence Plantations is going to go away, or at least it's going to go to the public.
It's going to go to the public, which is where it should go.
It's going to a vote. The House Judiciary Committee, they passed a resolution to remove Providence Plantations from the state name. It's going to go to the full House next week, and it looks like the Senate has already passed a companion bill. The Senate, the governor wants it, so it looks like it'll go to the people in November.
Yeah.
Okay. Natalie, you're from out of state. Did you know that the whole state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations was the entire name of the state?
I did.
Oh, good
I have
for you.
heard that.
Yeah.
Most people have no idea.
I think my husband told me this.
Oh, yeah?
You're going to have to change all the marble in the State House and cut the State House facade apart so that you can get rid of the in Providence Plantations if it goes through.
How much money is that to change all of that?
I got
a lot. How much money is that, John?
I feel like at a time when we're at a budget deficit, that
probably a
just
full
timing
$2 million.
wise.
How much, John?
Probably a few $1 million.
Only a few.
Everything they would have to do.
Yeah.
I do have an objection, though, because if they simply want to remove the word plantations, and I've made this argument with many people, I don't live on an island. Rhode Island is Aquidneck Island.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the Providence part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
They called it plantations. If they don't want plantations, fine. Either get rid of plantations or put a different word with Providence, because Roger Williams came here, settled down at the conjunction of two rivers as they entered Narragansett Bay, and said, "This is Providence." And that's the part of the state I live in. Somebody else was out on this island that looked like Rhodes Island out in Greece. call it State of Rhode Island and Providence. Call it State of Rhode Island and Providence, fill in the blank.
Why not just change it to State of Providence?
Well, you can do that, or any other general name. But Rhode Island, I don't know. And by the way, most of the slave trade occurred out of the ports at the time that were on the island, in Newport, in that area.
Yeah.
So, they're going a little too far.
Okay. Well, I bet
that means
it passes,
a lot of
though.
people will object. There'll be a lot of people objecting, and I suspect it won't pass.
No, I think it
To a
will.
vote.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it won't. Because it was like 75% voted no last time.
I know. Times have changed,
It'll
though.
be closer, but I don't
Yeah.
think it'll change that much.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm sort of. I guess it's more of an emotional thing for me, and not necessarily logical. But I feel like if you remove it from the name, it's just one more piece of history that we want to get rid of and we don't want to consider. And I just don't think you can erase history, and you shouldn't erase history, because if you don't look at it and learn from it, how do you go forward? I mean, you just can't invent things to do going forward without looking at what's been successful and what's been bad in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying we have to celebrate things, right? I mean, that's not what I'm saying, but it is. You can't erase history. It is what it is. And I heard somebody say history is written by those who are the winners. And that's
I've heard
true.
that. Mm-hmm.
I get it, but it's still history. So you can look at it whatever way you want. But I don't know. I'm not sure what I will do when November rolls around. Part of me says keep it.
And remember, history is not there for you to like or dislike.
Yeah, it's to learn from.
It's to learn from.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we'll see what so it looks like it will be on the ballot. So.
Well, that's where it should be.
And you'll have to make a decision, Natalie. Tough
I have a little time to think about it.
All right.
There is also the question of, and what do we do about the United States Constitution that has in its first article the state of Rhode Island and Providence plantations?
Yeah.
This,
do we amend?
Boy, it so reminds me of the book 1984. And
I got to go back and reread that.
You have to reread it.
Mhm.
Did you read it? Ever read it, Natalie?
I did in school, but I saw the play version a few years ago,
Well,
which was fantastic.
If you remember, George Winston, that's his job, is to go to books and documents and get rid of things.
Wow.
And so that's what he would have to do. Someone
Yeah.
would have to go to the Constitution with an eraser.
Yeah. I'm not really sure you want to touch that document.
A little whiteout, you know?
Yeah, a little whiteout.
It was never there. What are you talking about?
Yellowed parchment paper with this big whiteout.
All right. So if you were an incoming freshman to Brown University,
I'd be
boy, I would be so
mad.
upset. I would be.
I'd be upset
you
because they're
can't
still
come to
charging you
school-
full price.
That's right, but you're not coming to school until the spring.
Yeah.
But keep learning online, though. Oh, I'd be so upset.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
that they're
And
doing this.
In URI, none of the Rhode Island students can live on campus, so they all
Only
have
if,
to
you're,
commute.
only if you're lucky. Some will be able to, but most will not.
I thought it was everybody. I thought if you were from Rhode Island, you couldn't live on campus.
The last, I'd have to reread the story that we had a couple of days ago, but
Yeah.
it basically said some.
Okay.
Some will be allowed, but probably not.
I mean, the reality is you can commute. It's not
Yes.
easy and it's a pain. But then
If you're
commute,
from up here,
yes.
yeah.
But if you commute, what's the traffic going to be like down in North Kingston?
It's going to be like going to
And
the
where's
beach
the
in the
parking
summertime.
going to happen? Are they going to park it on the baseball in the fields that they've got down there now? Because they're going to have to.
Well, you can
They're
park
gonna-
in Narragansett Beach and walk.
Because nobody's going to carpool to go there.
Well,
if,
no.
if you're a kid, you're gonna jump in your
Whatever
parents'
you got.
car and you're going to go.
Yeah. So there's that. And then there's Harvard.
Yeah.
That is not letting anybody on campus.
Yeah.
Well, they're letting them on, but there's no in-room
It's
class.
virtual. It's all online.
All
And that's the
online.
one I was thinking of. Harvard is all online.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yes, for the entire year.
Yeah. So and they're charging full price too.
Yes.
So, like,
at a nice
really?
$48K a year.
No, it's more than that, my
Is
friend.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. And so all the schools when the dorms open up, if you can get a dorm room, it's all single dorm rooms. So
Yeah.
there's no more 3s and 4s
You know what?
anymore.
University of Phoenix was on the cutting edge
Years ago. that's
years
right.
ago when they got their online learning tools figured out.
That and Southern New Hampshire University, they do it all online.
Yeah.
And Grand Canyon University. So.
Yep.
So, well, yeah, if you were the parent of a freshman going to Brown, I'm paying all this money to watch my son
see-
or daughter sit in their room.
And I think that's what
wouldn't.
I wonder if I wouldn't. I wonder how many of those parents are going to go, you know what? I'm not going to do that. If you want to go, you figure out a way to go, but I'm not going to pay for you to sit at home and learn at Brown. I'm not paying for the name. Because that's what you're doing at that point.
Yeah.
You're paying for the name on the diploma, which I guess you kind of do anyway. But at least you go there and you have the experience of college life, and you have to make decisions on your own, and you have to be an adult as best you can at that age. You're taking that away from those kids and saying, sorry, you don't have any of those experiences. I asked my son, who's going to probably spend, well, he's going to go back because he's got an off-campus apartment in Worcester, but when he was home this past spring, I'm like, so what do you miss? He goes, I miss the fraternity. I miss the campus life. I miss, having my independence. He sits in his room all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not any fault of his own. It's just he's either learning or doing whatever he's doing. And there's no interaction. He can only interact with his friends on video games and whatever he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he likes that. I think there's an element
Not good for kids to be isolated.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think.
So if you're an incoming freshman to Brown, here's a little trick you can do. All right, I had a family member do this years ago, not with Brown, but for the first 3 years he went to UMass Dartmouth before it was even called UMass Dartmouth for 3 years, and then I said, okay, time to transfer to Bryant University, Bryant College at the time.
Yeah.
So his degree is from Bryant College.
Sure.
He went there for 1 year.
Yeah.
All right, go to CCRI for whatever you want, and then transfer to Brown.
Yeah.
And your degree was like Brown University. You went there for 1 year.
I like that Rhode Island College this year's got a big advertising campaign
What are they
now
doing?
going on. They're just talking about Rhode Island College
come there.
being more than just a state university, and I wonder if they're just looking at the opportunity to compete against the bigger universities and say, listen, we're a little smaller, it's half the price or third of the price. Come and get your degree here. It's just as good.
We'll let you stay on campus if you're an in-state student.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. But it's closer. It's in the middle of the state, at least.
Yeah, a lot closer. We did have a note that was written in towards the end of the program here. State name change. Preposterous. People who are in favor need to get a life.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there's going to be a lot of that.
There'll be people thinking about it. So,
Yep.
yeah. I know. So,
yeah.
It's not a good situation.
Well, you know what? John's right. I think I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to pass because it requires the people who are most offended by the name to show up and vote, and I'm not sure that there's historical perspective that that's what happens.
You're right.
Young people who are socially conscious, who are all worried about this, maybe this is the year they mobilize and they vote. But if it's raining, if there's inclement weather, are they really going to get up and vote? That'll be the interesting thing.
And then they call me cynical.
But then you got the older crowd, let's say 50 and up, that want to keep it the way it is,
and who do vote.
And they come out and vote.
They come out and vote. So again, it's
a real clash.
It's a generational clash in some ways
of who's gonna get the biggest crowd to come out.
I want to get this in before I go on hiatus.
All right, John. What is
I see that Mary Shelley. You know who Mary Shelley is, right?
The writer?
She wrote
Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Well, this one, she wrote a new one out. It's called Too Much and Never Enough, How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Mary Trump.
And on that note. Thanks, John.
Look for it at bookstores near you.
I sure will. All right, we've come to the end of the program, so thanks for listening in, everyone. John Ward, best of luck in your campaign. John? Okay, bye, John. All right. Natalie, thanks for coming in today.